Yo guys, take a look at Thomas HG. Why do you think he's so good? Obviously because of his aim. He has one of the best aims in EU, and probably if he would not hit all his pump, hit all his sniper shots back in the days, he would not be at his current level. Imagine if you would hit every pump too like Thomas HG, you would probably be at a way better level than you are right now. Imagine a PlayStation 4 player in your box, then hitting a 200 pump. He's probably way worse than you, but he just hits a lucky one pump because of his aim assist and you miss. Also, everyone complaining about these cheaters. Of course, they're not getting banned, but they are hitting every shot, guys. What if you practice your aim so you also hit every shot? You would have a huge advantage in early game, in mid game fights, but as well in late game. I will show you 3 tips how you can improve your aim in Fortnite, and watch till the end so you don't miss out on the most important part. So first of all, in your real life, guys, so I'll show you here my mousepad. I think number one, it's really important to have enough space on the mousepad. So you can see my mousepad is kind of huge. I have enough space. There should not be a scenario in game where maybe you want to flick on your enemy and then you run out of space. So there's like the edge of your mousepad. And you need to do like this pretty quick just because you have no space. If you have less space in your, if you have no space on your desk, maybe you should then put your sensor a bit higher so you have enough space. Okay, second thing is the setup, guys. Of course, a good mouse is really important to have a good aim. Also, pretty important is the mouse gates here down below. You can see these things. They're basically the feeds on which your mouse glides over the mousepad. So you should definitely take a look if they are clean and if there's no damage on your mouse, so they can glide over your mousepad. The second thing, I think, which is even more important than the actual mouse, is of course the mousepad, guys. You should have a good mousepad. Also, if your mousepad is kind of old, it's definitely worth to buy a new one. And one tip, guys, for your mousepad, it's kind of smart life hack I use myself. So, no, you know, guys, there are these things here. It's like we actually bought it because of my cat. Because my cat, there are always hairs in the room. So you have this thing to do like over the clothes, for example. But guys, they're also really good for your mousepad. So oftentimes, guys, there's a lot of dust on your mousepad and like small shit stuff, which can obviously make your aim worse. So if you buy one of these, they're like pretty cheap, maybe a few dollars on Amazon or a few euros. You can just roll over your mousepad like this, and then all the dust and everything goes away. And basically your mousepad is like new again. And if you aim afterwards with your mousepad, it's way cleaner just to move the mouse. Especially really important before a cup. I do it nearly every time. Last thing I can really recommend you guys is to buy an arm sleeve. So this is basically the arm sleeve. What are the advantages of an arm sleeve? I think especially in summer it's really good. I mean, you just do it over your arm, and then you have a better glide over your mousepad. So especially if it's pretty warm, like it will be now in the summer, you can glide over your mousepad, and let's say you have, maybe your arm sweats or something, then the arm sleeve will absorb the water, and you can still play pretty good. So you can see without the arm sleeve, sometimes you get stuck. It feels kind of weird on your skin. But with the arm sleeve, it's always the same friction on your desk, so that's pretty good to have a consistent and clean aim. So now, guys, another part on how to aim. So basically, what you should be aware of is your arm. So I don't think it's good to aim with only like your hands on the table. I mean, some people may play like this, and then your arm goes like down here. You play like this. I don't think that's pretty good. You should always do a whole movement with your forearm, but also with your shoulder. Another point, guys, a lot of people maybe have the problem where they flick too much in game. So let's say here's enemy and they always do like a flick. Okay, actually hit the flick because I have good aim. But obviously then you miss your pumps more often. I think one reason for this is just because a lot of people's arms are so tight. So basically if you have tension on your arm the whole time, it's like if you flex your muscles, you cannot aim pretty good. So always keep your arm calm and relaxed. I mean, you can keep awareness on it while you play, while you practice, guys. Make sure that your arm is never under tension and you have it relaxed, because that's the way how you can do a clean movement with your arm and then also hit your pump. Another point to the aiming, Okay, another point to the aim in-game, guys. You should always rather try to track the enemy instead of make a flick. Let's say you replace the wall. You should always stay on the head. Make sure that you keep your arm quiet. So you basically don't go away from the enemy, because oftentimes, let's say you do right and peek like this. Should basically be no movement in your crosshair at any time. So not like, and then pump. Instead, just keep calm and pump the enemy. So next part is actually the crosshair placement, guys. I mean, most of people think about aiming is just like, okay, you hit these flicks. Maybe like 180 flick. Okay, I miss now. But also the crosshair placement is really important, especially in-game, guys. You don't even need to have the best aim and you can still hit most of your shots. It's just that you basically aim on your enemy before you even shoot. So you don't start aiming when you actually shoot with the pump. You already need to start aiming beforehand. So let's say I replace the enemy wall. And now, I mean, I see the enemy through my wall already. So I can already aim with my pump on the enemy. And let's say the enemy makes the edit. My crosshair is instantly on the enemy and I just need to press left click and then get a free pump on him. Of course, the bot can't edit now. So, I mean, if your hand is too shaky, guys, and as I said before, your arm is not calm, you maybe go away again when the enemy edits. So that's pretty dumb. You should keep awareness that you stay calm and then actually don't move your mouse anymore if you're already on the enemy. Because a lot of people, maybe they are on the enemy beforehand. Like this, they are on the enemy, but then they like flick away because they get nervous or their arm is too stressed out, so they miss them. Also in fights in general, I can recommend you guys, try to lift your crosshair a bit up. I think most of the people, they fight like always looking down. Their fight is like this, guys. Like this. You should try to lift your crosshair a bit more up so you can already go on the enemy. So let's say I'm here. You don't fight like this. A lot of people maybe, let's say the enemy is here. It would be like this. You should always lift your crosshair up, guys. You see the difference? I'm already with the crosshair basically here where the enemy would peek. So I can still look against the wall. Let's say the enemy comes over. I just need to move basically. You see, I just need to move to the left and boom, I could pump him. I don't even need to aim at all. At this point, it's just my movement and the good crosshair placement beforehand. Because my crosshair is basically already on the enemy. So then now I only need to do like a small adjustment of my aim. Because obviously, I mean, the guy would not be in my crosshair instantly. So I can go out and then I just need like a micro flick. Like wherever the enemy might be. So basically, guys, where I make a difference, I think there are two parts of a normal pump. So let's say you do a pump. I split up the aiming basically in two parts. So one time there's like the big flick. And then there's the small flick. I mean, I invented these names, to be honest. So basically the theory is that if you aim, there's first of all the big flick, which should go pretty fast. So whoop, you instantly go to your enemy. Let's say you face towards this, but your enemy is here. There's the big flick. You see, in like half a second, I'm at the enemy. But obviously, I mean, my crosshair most of the times will not be on the enemy already. So then there's a small flick. So you go there, and then you do like a micro adjustment of your aim. And go to the head of your enemy. And if you have your crosshair already in a good place in the fight, you basically only need a micro adjustment because your aim is already at your enemy, also through the wall. Okay, another thing, guys, which is really important is your own movement in a fight. Let's say you already jumped in the box, and now it's obviously an aim duel, guys. Either you win or you lose. So your movement plays a pretty important role. First of all, the movement can help you to aim better. I mean, you see, I don't even move your mouse. But the more important part is that your movement, if you have good movement, your enemies are more likely to miss the shots. And that's basically more important than that movement is helping yourself to hit more shots. Okay, guys, so I will show you in aim duel what it looks like to have good movement and what parts to take care of. So what do you want to try with your movement? Let's say you have an aim duel. You should always try to have different movements while you play. So don't always go to the left like my enemy is doing right now. It's random enemy, so it's not that good. Another point, you should alternate your movement, but also try to go behind the enemy. So also in aim duels is a really important part. So let's say I aim, I go left and then right, and then I can maybe like outplay him and get to the back of the enemy. I mean, okay, here it's kind of hard because the enemy does moving to the left. He's kind of dumb. But you see, okay, you saw in the end, you could saw a bit. I moved like to the right basically, and he was looking in the other direction. So then I could go behind him, and he would miss all the shots because he's looking at this position. So wait, I'll try to show you maybe in this scenario. The enemy is kind of dumb, guys, but against other players it works better. Let's say I do aim drill like this. I go right, left. Also try to go back and forward a bit. And you can see, like, I try to go behind the players, so he can't really hit me. And he's only moving to the left. I mean, that's pretty bad for him. So it's kind of hard for me to show what I mean. But you saw like there at the end. Again, I think you get it, what I mean. Always try to go behind the enemy, so he can't hit you then. Okay, guys, so now the third tip of the video is actually how to improve your aim. Obviously, I mean, I told you all these things now you need to know about aiming. But without practice, you will never get good aim, guys. So I will show you some good creative maps you can use to improve your aim. So first of all, I think you should improve your aim every day, guys. You need to practice it every day. Because aiming is the thing. You need to put in time over time. And it only gets better overnight. So it's not worth to play like 8 hours of aim drill in one day. And then don't play any aim drills the rest of the week. It's more worth to play every day a little bit. And then over time, your aim will get better. So the first map, I mean, you can probably guess it. It's the 1v1 aim drill map. It's a map from Raider, guys. Here you can see the map code. You can do a screenshot. You can either put it here on public and you play against a random enemy, or you play it with one of your friends. So I can recommend it. You play with one of your friends because, I mean, the public enemies are kind of bad, as you just saw. It's not that good practice, maybe. Okay, guys, so in here, these maps, you see there are a lot of scenarios you can play. All of the scenarios are to improve your aim. Of course, there's so much, guys. I will show you some maps I really like to play and how I play it when I play aim drills, because I also play aim drills pretty lot. So I try to play them often. So first of all, I can recommend you guys to put 6000 HP. Most of other pros and many people play with 4000 HP, but I believe 6000 HP is way better because you also aim in one scenario longer. So then with 6000 HP, you can also practice your endurance. So first thing first, guys, I like to play this 1x1 cone, classic aim drill. And then in here, I would choose to play with the SMG, guys. I think especially at the beginning, it's pretty good to play with the SMG because it just gives you like a little warm-up. You can do large movements with your arm. And it's pretty good to warm up. So I would play like 3 to 4 times, or maybe 3 to 5 times this aim drill here with SMG only, guys. Maybe a lot of you think, guys, why should you play SMG? Because in-game you probably don't carry SMG that often. Guys, trust me, these large movements, they also improve your pump aim. Because with the pump, guys, I mean, you need to basically track your enemy's head and then pump on him. So you can also improve your pump aim and as well your mechanics. Because, I mean, if you do an edit, you also need to do these larger movements to do a quick edit. So that's why the SMG is pretty important part of the aim training. And then next, I most of the time play this 1x1 ramp. So after this, guys, after you play like maybe 3 rounds after 1x1 ramp, it always depends on your time. I think, guys, in aim drills, you should play like 30 minutes of aim drills a day. Depends on how much you play the game. I mean, let's say you play like 3 hours per day. Then, I mean, I think around 30 minutes are good to play aim drills. Of course, if you play every day like 5+ hours, I think it's worth to play 1 hour of aim drills. Okay, so now you play 1 time cone, 1 time this. I think these are the most important scenarios. You can also, guys, sometimes I play these with the pump switching, which you can pick on the left. I think you know what I mean. Where you pump switch every times. Then other scenarios I can recommend you guys. The 1x2 rams. One of these. Or you can alternate between them. I think they're also pretty good. I play them sometimes, not every times. The low gravity one, I think, is also good. You just get kind of bigger feelings because in this scenario, the angles where you need to aim are way larger. So you can improve using your whole mouse pad to aim. Then another scenario I like is the flying arena. I think flying arena is a pretty good scenario because you need to basically aim more faster. So I mean, you could say it's kind of unrealistic, but I think that's important to practice. Then afterwards, guys, I do this classic aim drills. I go over to SMG tracking. I play most of the times 1x1 cone react, 1 or 2 times, and then cross ramp react. Because these scenarios, they're a bit more difficult. So basically use this as a warm-up and then you go over to this. Because here, guys, your spawns always alternate. So maybe you are now here, then you aim. And then after some time, guys, you see, you switch the spawns and then you need to flick again. And then track again, so it's a bit more harder than the other scenarios. Another thing I like to play here on this map is to play with the combat pump. Aim with the combat pump. Even though you don't use the combat pump in-game, I think it's a good way to practice. Just because combat pump, you see in the Crosshair, is pretty small. And the combat pump is really accurate. So basically with the combat pump, you can see if you actually hit your shots. And you can't say, okay, I lost because my bloom was so bad, or any other excuses. It's just pure aim with the combat pump, so that's what I like. So then, guys, after I played some of these scenarios, or one of these, I play here shotgun training. I mean, sometimes I also switches. I play shotgun training before these. I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Here, of course, it's for a shotgun aim, pretty simple. I like to play, first of all, 1v1 cone react a few rounds. Then most of the times I play like 1 round of bounce into box. Then octagram flick is also a good scenario. Afterwards, high ground, low ground flick. These scenarios here are kind of shit. I would not play them. Incline flick, you can play like maybe 1 game or 2 rounds of it. But I don't really like it. But I think it's still decent. And other than that, guys, I think the headshot only 50 box. I think this is also a good scenario because then you have a ramp in your box. You can basically practice editing the ramp and then hitting a tunnel pump. And ADS training, I also play this a few times. I think it's good to improve your ADS with pumps because in-game oftentimes, let's say enemies like standing at the other side of the box, can also be good to ADS on him. Just to hit a more precise pump. And then, guys, at the end, after I played all of these scenarios, I go over to AR tracking and basically practice my red dot aim with ADS sense. So I play search checks most of the times. Pretty simple scenario. And sometimes I even play the guider scenarios, but I don't think that they are really necessary. But I mean, if you have fun playing, you can try them out. So guys, second map I show you is this radar map. You can see the map code once again at the top. I just want to show guys this map. It's a map basically similar to aim duels, but you can play this map alone. So that's maybe an advantage if you have no one to play with. But I believe that this map is worse than aim duels. I think in aim duels you improve way more. I especially think scenarios like these guys, they are not really helpful. I mean, you can play them, but it's kind of unrealistic. There's no movement. You don't have really enemy guys. I would not recommend you guys play these maps. The only maps you can play in this map basically are here on the left, guys. I think they can be helpful. They're probably still worse than aim duels. For example, here when you're on cone, you can like pick the SMG, and then you can see you play like against the bot. So this one, I think you can play it. It trains your aim a bit. I think aim duels are better. So I just want to show you guys this map. Okay guys, now the third map, probably one of the most important maps, which I most of the times play after I play the aim duels, is here the headshot only map. You probably all of it know it already. But guys, I will show you why it's so effective. I mean, basically every pro is playing this map. It's also after you trained your aim, this map you can also build. So you basically also warm up your mechanics a bit and your edits a bit before you maybe then hop into creative 1v1s or play a ranked game or even a cup. So this guy's basically a big box fight with 16 players. So you run in here and then you have this space you can build. And I mean, you only kill enemies when you 200 pump them. So the advantage why this map got invented basically and why this map is also pretty important to play other than aim duels and shit is just because you need to hit headshots. Basically you can practice here to hit headshots in game. So obviously a lot of people in game only aim for like body. like this. But this map makes you to aim on the head. This also goes 1-1 with what I said, with what I said before with the crosshair, guys. To basically practice when you aim to lift your crosshair a bit up. I think you can also, every time you aim, just try to lift your mouse up a bit so you go on the head then. Because a lot of people are used to only aim on the body. But this map is a great way to practice it. You can see, guys, you can also try here to keep your crosshair calm. Not really like shaky. I think it's a good way to practice it. So don't aim like this. Yeah, you should try to keep your crosshair calm. Then you can hit easy run pumps. So don't move your crosshair a lot. Just aim like this. And you get 3 max damage pumps. So guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you learned something from the video. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you learned something from the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also watch my other videos if you like these types of videos. Make sure to leave a comment and tell me which topic I should make a video next about. And then guys, have a nice day. See you in the next video.